Welcome. I am Tom Bartesi, Sergeant at Arms, Los Gatos Toastmasters, meeting number 523, October 7th. A couple of housekeeping items. Make sure you silent your phones for the duration of the meeting. And if you need to use the restroom, out the door and to the left. Let's have a great meeting tonight. We have B as a first-time Madam Toastmaster, first time. So we had a first-time Toastmaster last week. Who was it? Arzu. That's right. That's right. You set the bar pretty high. Yes. So, and now we have another one. So good luck, B. You'll do fine. And without any further ado, let me bring up our Madam President, Natalie, for opening comments.
Thank you so much, Tom. Hello, fellow members and guests. Today we have a new member that joined, Isaac.
Hey.
So welcome to our club. Now everyone can be back to behave as usual. We don't have to pretend anymore. We have Olivia, returning guest. That's great to see you. And we also have Olga as our recent new member. So when Chirag, our sergeant of arms that is on a PTO right now, used to come and ask, does anyone have any success stories to share? And I want to bring this back, and maybe one of you have a success story to share, how being a part of this community, of this club, helped you on a professional or personal level, or something you would like to share with us. Maybe someone wants to come up and tell us something. All right, please.
Hey, so this is prime time for the skill set that I'm developing here. And I've been doing it since 2019 because of my role as a financial advisor, talking to a lot of tech employees, including Natalie's team and cohort. But this week in particular is pretty crazy. So Monday, there was a new hire room filled with 70 new employees to NVIDIA. And that's kind of half the size of the typical Monday session. 15-minute content on equity, ESPP RSUs, 5-minute Q&A. Typical toast. You have a mic in hand. You can do lapel or mic. You're walking, you're working the room, you're cracking a joke here and there, you're keeping it light. And the fact that I have to do this every week now is great practice. And I've been able to slay the dragon, as Tom would speak, because I remember 6 years ago when they put me in front of 200 people and they said, oh yeah, go talk about it. I was more green at that time. Now we're in financial wellness week 1 and week 2 next week, 7 a.m. presentations to EMEA, which is European region, 7 to 8. Did one this morning, doing one tomorrow, doing one Thursday. Next week, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday as well, in the morning to Europe. And then speaking panel for US on Tuesday, fireside chat, me and another person. And then Thursday of next week is the final shebang, the benefits overview for all US employees. So not to brag, but without this, I wouldn't be able to do 4 presentations this week back to back and 5 next week. And like we all say, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time.
That's definitely inspiring, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing that. Does anyone else have any success story? Sure. All right, I want to share something. If no one else has anything, I would share a small story from this week's meeting at work. I work for NVIDIA in a tech position. And this week we had a meeting with our VP that had to approve talks that we're going to submit for a technical conference. When the meeting started, I realized that that VP, he is a very high-level person that doesn't really understand the details of that. So I felt like, first of all, this club helped me with my listening skills to understand the person and to see where he is at that moment, and to see what gaps he has in the understanding of the entire picture. And then when my turn came to speak, I gave him a very high level overview of the context itself. And I basically explained to him that it's an honor to even submit and get approved from this conference. So the idea behind that was that he should approve all our talks. He is not supposed to be the person who standing between us and getting into that conference. And I feel that after me giving that context, he really understood where the entire situation, where it stands, and started asking so many questions about not specific talk, but in general about the conference, about how the process works, the submission. So eventually all our talks were accepted by him, and now it's only the conference submission process left. And I felt like it was a really small success for me and for my ability to speak and to understand where that person is coming from. So I wanted to share that with you guys. And thank you. Oh, hi, Daisy. Is that Daisy? I don't see well from far away. We
Hi.
are glad that you joined us online.
I couldn't make it, so I wanted it to be virtual at least.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, that's why we have the technology. And last moment, new guest that joined us. Hi. So what we are usually doing here is calling the guests to tell their name, how they found this club, and what they are looking for to get here. So would you like to come up here and share a little bit? All right. So tell us your name and what you're expecting from the club and how we got here.
Yeah, definitely. So my name's Alicia White. I found this club just online. I was just looking for a Toastmasters that's local. I'm in San Jose, so I'm not too far. And I'm really just looking to work on my presentation skills. I feel like they're okay, but I just want them to be better. I feel like this is a great place to do so. Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you so much, Alicia. Welcome. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this meeting. We have the same format for our meetings every week, but we have usually Toastmaster who facilitates the entire meeting, and we have several speeches. Then we have evaluations and table topics where all guests also are really welcome and encouraged to participate, and some more activities, but the roles are changing from week to week. So one week you can do a speech, another week you can do a evaluation, and so on. So it's dynamic and everyone gets to participate basically. So without further ado, let's welcome our Toastmaster for tonight. First time Toastmasters B.
Thank you, Madam President. I love saying Madam President, by the way. I just love it. So I'm probably gonna say it a lot. Okay, so please take a look at your sheet, your agendas. There's a word of the day. I know that's not my role, but I'm gonna speak with candor right now and tell you, I have never led a meeting in my life, ever. So I'm nervous, but I'm excited. And so let's take the plunge. So as our Madam President just explained, Alicia, we have prepared speeches for tonight. We have two. Kaiten, it will be our first speaker, and he will be evaluated by Chris. And then we have Christina, who will be our second speaker, and she will be evaluated by Anant all the way at the end. We have functionary roles, timer, counter, grammarian, and general evaluator. So I'd like to invite our functionary role persons to come up here and explain the role. So let's start with timer. Isaac, our newest member, it has been taking the plunge and coming up to take a role. Come on.
All right. Greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'll be taking care of the time today. So the table topics should be about 2 minutes and icebreakers should be 4 to 6 minutes. Most other speeches should be 5 to 7 in length, and the individual evaluation should be no more than 3 minutes, so 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you.
Did Tom give you the cards to? Okay, wonderful. Okay, so next we're gonna have an odd counter. Maria, would you come up and explain the odd counter role?
Good evening, my name is Maria, and today I'm a counter. This role is about counting the filler words when we are nervous or we don't know what to say. We tend to fill the space with something, and it's like, so, like, but, whatever we know to fill, and we can fill the space with meaningful and thoughtful pauses, or just take our time and be calmer and just be kind of spacing out the talking. Or today I learned some trick, having a chewing gum in your mouth. Might be a trick because it's also might be helpful. But another thing that, of course, having filler words is a very human thing, and it will distinguish you from AI avatars. But when you master it, you can intentionally use it. And in more casual conversation, you might feel more relaxed, but in more formal conversation or at work, you might be willing to control your feeling words more. So today I will report who used how many filler words. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you guys see how Maria modeled for us, slowing down in the middle and taking a pause? I thought that was lovely. Thank you so much for that. Okay, next we have our grammarian and word of the day, Ray. Welcome. Why don't you tell us what this word is?
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. So tonight I will be your grammarian, first-time grammarian. And my job tonight will be to find or recognize very specific statements that really stand out. And I'll also be looking for errors, grammatical errors. This is my worst subject by far, so that's why I'm a grammarian tonight. Yeah, I mean, so I need to work on all this stuff, so I'm looking for everything. And also my job is to introduce the word of the day, which is candor, who I think B used so well. So candor refers to the quality of being open, sincere, and honest. And the example, do I read the example? Yeah. During the interview, the comedian spoke with candor about the nervousness she feels every time she takes the stage. So everybody, let's speak with candor tonight. And let's have a great meeting. Thank you.
I love how you're pointing out that we can use these functionary roles to work on aspects of, that we need to get better at. So that's awesome. Thank you. All right. Last but not least, our general evaluator. Would you remind me how you pronounce your name? Arzu. Okay. Welcome, Arzu. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am excited to be the general evaluator, and what I'm looking for in today's meeting is just kind of seeing how the flow of things went from the start time to some of the things that I believe were positive that we implemented in our session today, and things that we can improve on for the future. So looking forward to it.
Okay, so I'm going to invite Chris to come up here to introduce our first speaker for today.
Thanks, Madam President. I have the pleasure of introducing Katen, our first speaker tonight. He will speak with candor as he speaks about the ultimate question. What is life all about? I said, wow, this is going to be good in 5 to 7 minutes. He is working on his pathway presentation mastery, level 2, project 1 in progress. He's one of our newer members here. The objective is to demonstrate communication styles. And one sentence description of the speech would be a perspective on what could be one of the right ways to approach life. Please welcome Hayton.
Thank you. What is life really all about? Is it about collecting stocks like NVIDIA stocks, or stacking up millions of dollars, or buying back-to-back properties here in the Bay Area, or driving high-end cars? Or is it about leaving all those things and devoting our life to church or temples or mosque, or sitting on the mountaintop seeking for the divine? Or perhaps is it about we ourselves working very hard so that our children can have a better tomorrow? Or is it something even more valuable than all of these things above? So let's face this. We are all here with a limited amount of time. And deep down, we all wonder, am I spending my time in the right direction? Or will I reach the end of the road and wished I would have lived differently? So let me offer you a perspective. We, you and I, are one of the most luckiest generation that has ever lived. Forget being the richest king ever or the biggest invader like Alexander the Great, who invaded territories almost half the size of United States. Even with all their riches, it would have been very difficult for him to travel from San Jose to New York, with his armies marching through the desert, climbing the mountains, people dying on the way. It would have taken him 1 year. And us, you can get up in the morning with a click of a button, you can book a flight ticket, call the Uber, and fly through the clouds like a bird and have a Thai food with our friend in New York by 9. So we are one of the only humans on the earth that is going to experience some of the wonderful moments which no generation has seen in the last 1,000 years. From rotary phones to the smartphones, from those big film-based cameras to the mini high-definition camera shrinking into our smartphones, from those antenna-based TVs to smart TVs that you can control with your voice commands, from handwritten letters to global instant video calling, from gas cars, diesel cars to touchscreen-based EV cars. And something very soon maybe like Hyperloop that will, take you to New York in just 2 or 3 hours, so that you can not only enjoy your dinner, but also enjoy lunch with one of your friends. And now we are seeing AI. AI is not going to replace our human thinking. It's going to amplify our curiosity. It's just a tool, not a threat. So let me again share you a small perspective. One of our great grandfathers would have likely lived for only 30 or 32 years, because just few hundred years back, that was an average human lifespan. And 1 out of 3 kids used to die just before they turned 5. Why? Because if something like COVID or a new disease struck, they wouldn't have vaccines or antibiotics or the healthcare system to protect them. For us, with help of AI and quantum computing, we are going to get vaccines in a matter of just weeks or days. So AI gives a kid in a rural Africa or a CEO of Silicon Valley the same access to the global knowledge. So that's powerful, that's progress. So coming back, what's the meaning of life? So maybe it's not about the wealth, it's not about the worship or the legacy. Maybe it's about how we are fully experiencing the time that have been given to us today, to travel, to learn, to live in the present that we already have today, to explore the mystery of our existence with curiosity, not with fear. Because no one, not even one of the greatest minds, have been able to still crack the code of the life. So let's not spend our precious life chasing things which are, out of track or just not, waste our time, right? Instead, I would say,
be grateful for what you have today, your friends, families, medical science and technology. Embrace AI. Take a help of AI to give you back some time, not just for productivity, but for your own meaning. Use that spare time to do something which is more meaningful to you. Maybe your passions, your adventures, your questions, your friends and family. Because no matter where we come from, we ultimately live with nothing but the life experiences. So let those experiences be rich, not in terms of goals and gadgets, but in terms of purpose and meaning. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaiten. Did you guys know Kaiten was actually supposed to deliver that speech next week and he moved it up a week? That's courage. That's awesome. Good job. Well, I'd like to invite you now to please scan the speaker feedback form and give Kaiten some feedback on his speech tonight. Thank you for adding that dimension of how to think about meaning in life. Take another 20 seconds to wrap up your comments. Okay, great. So our next prepared speech is by Christina, and I'm going to invite Anand to come and introduce her.
I'm very pleased to introduce Christina, and her title of the speech is Prospect Theory: How our minds trick us. Quite interesting. She's on presentation mastery pathway, and project is evaluation and feedback. And the purpose of the project is she's going to practice applying speech evaluation feedback. And one sentence general description of the speech is to share a secret weapon I have and how it show up in our daily life. So over to you, Christine.
Imagine you found $100 on the street. How happy would you be? Now imagine you lost $100 that you already had. Which one affects you more? Most of us feel the pain of losing the $100 more than the joy of gaining it. It's not just emotion, it's science, and explained by something that's called the prospect theory. Developed by two psychologists, Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, prospect theory explains how we make decisions under risks. It challenges the traditional concept that all human beings are rational. But Kahneman and Tversky discovered that we don't weigh gain and loss equally. Instead, we compare it to a reference point. So today I want to share what is prospect theory and how it shows up in our daily life, often without us realizing it. And it's really simple because it can be explained by something that looks like this. I'm going to draw on the whiteboard. Explain how it is. through my personal story. When I first graduated from Columbia and landing on my first job, I was earning what you would call like a mediocre salary, but I was thrilled because I was finally able to rent my own little apartment. I stopped relying on my parents sending me money each month from China, and I was able to support myself financially. That sense of independence was everything to me. As my career progressed, so is my income, my compensation grow significantly with experience. But the funny thing is, my satisfaction didn't. At some point, it started to fade. Why? Because the first $3,000 that you earn was compared to zero, the student life with no income. And from there, another $1,000 or $2,000 doesn't bring you the same level of joy because your reference point has shifted from zero to $3,000. That is one of the key takeaway of the prospect theory, which is we don't judge outcomes in absolute terms. We judge it compared to our expectation. Here's the other key takeaway of the prospect theory. Traditional economics tell us if you're offered a coin flip, if you win, you get $200. If you lose, you have to give the other party $100. You should take the bet. Why? Because the expected value of $200 multiplied by 50 plus $100 multiplied by 50% equals $150, which is more than the $100 you will potentially lose. But Kahneman and Tversky found out that most people would not take the bet. Why? Because losing feels worse than winning feels good. The incremental loss of the $100 is much more than the incremental gain of the $200. That is at the heart of the concept of loss aversion, which is people often avoid the loss than rather risk again, even if the odds are stacked in our favor. And we see this everywhere. In investment, people sometimes hold on to a losing stocks, hoping it will bounce back one day, because selling the stock means that they're accepting a loss. When you go shopping, you often see the price tag has the original value on it, say $100 discounted at $70. It was framed in a way that you're not losing the full value of the $100. And even if you're never willing to pay the $100 to begin with, it was framed that way. In relationship, sometimes we kept a relationship far too long because we invested so much time and effort in it. That's loss aversion too. My personal story of the loss aversion is when I recently transitioned from one team to another with an Apple, because the previous role that I had was no longer fulfilling to me anymore. But the funny thing is, I knew this since a long time ago, but I didn't take any action on it for another almost a year. Why? Because my manager was next to me, they supported me, I had a great relationship with the team, everything felt comfortable and stable. And I realized towards the end of that 1 year, I wasn't staying because this was the right role for me. I was staying because I was afraid to lose what I had. So what can we do about it? The first thing is awareness, which is why I want you to learn about prospect theory and how it works. The next time you are making a big decision in your life, I want you to ask yourself, are you making this decision because you're afraid of losing something? Or is it truly the right path for you? Knowing how our mind works can help us take a pause, zoom out, and choose more wisely. So now you have my secret weapon. I want you to use it wisely in your wallet, in your career, in your relationship, especially when you are torn between staying safe and taking a smart risk. Thank you.
Wow, I love that graph. Salivating over the graph, love it. That's awesome. And you talked about expected value. That's ballsy. Great job, Christina. Okay, so let's take a minute to please give Christina some feedback. take another 20 seconds to wrap it up. Alicia, were you online a couple weeks ago? Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. I'm so happy you made it. You made it to in person because it is different experience. Great job. All right. Well, now the moment you've been waiting for. Tom.
Hey.
Tom is leading our table topics today since we don't have a third prepared seat. So come on up.
Thank you, B. You're doing a great job. Table topics. So this is the part of the program that is open to everybody, members and guests. There's no right or wrong answer here, and we have fun with it. We're practicing our impromptu speaking skills, being able to think off the top of our head and think and talk at the same time. What a novel concept, right? That's why we're here. So tonight we're going to do something a little different. I brought a riddle. Who doesn't like a riddle, right? We don't hear riddles all the time. Back in the day, riddles, Chris, you know this, riddles were all over the place, right? But now, not so much. Okay, here we go. I came across this and I thought, wow, this would make a cool table topic. So I kept it and now I'm able to use it. So here's a riddle. Can you solve it? Imagine yourself driving on a cold, rainy night. You're driving home from the movies. You went by yourself, you're single, and you're driving home in your two-seater sports car. But like I said, it's a cold, rainy night. It's one of the most miserable nights of the year. As you slow down around a corner, you see three people at a bus stop standing in the rain. There's no cover. They're standing in the rain, getting soaked. To your surprise, one of them is a long-lost friend of yours that saved your life many years ago. Another is a little old lady. And it's obvious that if you don't get her out of the weather, she's going to become very sick. The third person is the person of your dreams. The one person you were meant to spend the rest of your life with. But you only have this two-seater sports car. You only have room for one more person in the car. Which person will you pick? So we have the long-lost friend that saved your life many years ago. That's pretty important. We have the old lady. If she keeps standing out in the rain, shivering, it's not going to be good for her. And then we have the person of your dreams. You know, you went to the movies by yourself, hoping, praying. No, you're single. We have to use our imagination here. If you're married, right now you're single. Okay, so those are your choices. So which person are you going to pick up? And I need to understand your thinking, because this will tell us an awful lot about you as a person. So any volunteers, guests are welcome, members are welcome. Maria is biting at the bit. All right, come on up, Maria. What do you got for us? You have the friend that saved your life. You have the old lady that's going to be very sick. And you have the person of your dreams standing there in the rain. Now, you only have 1 to 2 minutes. So I know you want to, you have a lot to say.
Let's apply it. Safe, being safe versus smart risk, right?
Yes, being safe.
So 3 people, one who saved my life. So he already did his mission. He saved my life.
But don't you own?
Thank you.
Don't you own? He saved your life. He's in the rain getting all.
I'm alive.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Keep going.
that's, thank you.
Keep going.
So I supposed to be happy. So he saved my life. My responsibility to be happy. old lady.
She's had a long life.
Yes. And sickness is treatable. We are in 21st century. So the riddle is solved, right? So yes, it's a smart risk. It's a safety, being safe with expectations and pressures of society versus smart risk. Happy Halloween.
That's exactly. Yeah, but that's exactly what there's no right or wrong answer, but I just want to know your thinking, and you gave us your thinking, so that was perfect. Thank you. Okay, who else and you can give the same answer, but maybe with different thinking, or you can choose one of the other four people standing in the rain. So who wants to go next? Anant. Anant.
I should know the math because I know the perfect answer.
Oh, you know the perfect answer. Have you heard this before? Oh, you've heard it before. Okay, Olga.
Hello. I'll give absolutely different answer.
Okay.
Compared to some people may relate in the room how we used to grow up and back in my culture and being living in a far destination and you have only one car and 15 people around and you have only one destination one way. Basically, you have to try fit all three people in your car and you know that you can find the way, make it possible.
Oh.
Challenge yourself.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right. I see what you did there. Yeah.
False choice that you gave.
Good
You
answer.
actually created a
Good
solution.
answer, but it's not quite the answer to the riddle, but it's a good answer. It's a resourceful answer. It's like, you see in some of these cultures, these guys driving the mopeds on the road and they have 3 kids in the front, 4 on the back, and the wife's on the shoulders, right? And a bunch of boxes of chickens, right? That sort of thing, right? So you could strap the old lady to the hood, right? It's possible. Okay, who wants to go next? Come on, let's have some fun. Our guests are welcome. Our guests are welcome. Alicia, our guests are welcome. Our new members, Olga. Our Olivia. We have Olga and Olivia.
Too old. I guess my answer would be similar to Maria. I would say the person of my dream.
Okay.
Because my friend in the past who saved my life wanted me to be happy, and that's why they saved my life. Absolutely. And they also, what's the word I'm looking for? I think I'm going into philosophy.
That's okay. That's right.
Been doing this all
That's
day
okay.
tonight. He's sufficient at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He knows how to do that.
Yes.
Yes, he's a pro. Or she is a pro. I don't know who is that. Right? So they can save the old person life if they need to. Right?
He saved one life, he can save
Yeah.
another. He's resourceful.
They know how to do it. They do it. So the old lady is in a good hands.
That's great
And
thinking.
I'm obviously was looking for the person of my life.
And you're driving off, waving to them, right?
Of course.
Yes.
They know what they're doing.
Very good thinking. I didn't think of that one. That's good. That's good. Does anybody else want to go before we reveal the correct answer? Oh, Keaton. The person that saved your life years ago, the poor old lady who's shivering, the water's coming down, she's shivering. And did I mention she's old? Okay. And then you have this person of your dreams, right? What's the meaning of life here?
So I think I'll go with the old lady. I'll pick her. The reason because I need the right people in my life, right? So if my friend and the the dream girl, right? If they are the real people, right, who know what the life is and what the meaning of life or the importance of life, they'll understand what I'm doing. So they will automatically come to me, you know, if I do the right thing. That's what. And if they are not, they will, I mean, it's good to let them go. Right? So-
If you love someone, you let them go and see if they come back, right? You'll manifest that they'll come back into your life, right? And they'll see you've done a good, yeah, they see you've done a good deed by taking the old lady to where she needs to go. Wonderful. All right. Not quite the right answer, but still. So, Anand, do you have the right answer? All right, so you're gonna, you've heard this one before. Okay.
So 20 years back when I started my career in India, I went to my manager and asked, okay, so I did a lot of hard work in this year, and then I'm expecting the reward. Okay, and he told me the reward for the good work is more work. On the similar analogy, like Olivia told, if somebody saved my life, let him save one more life. So reward for saving one life is you got to save another life. Okay, so back to this riddle. It's a very complicated riddle in the sense that I have to pay gratitude to somebody who have saved my life years ago. Okay, and then I have to save the old woman as well as a sympathy and as a empathy to that old woman, and she as basically saving as a life. And then how can I miss myself and lose a moment not to be with somebody whom I want to be, you know, the love of my life. So the answer to this riddle is I'll hand over the key of my car to the person who saved my life, so I can trust my car with him because he saved my life, and ask him to take the old woman, go home, and I'm gonna spend that evening in a rain with the love of my life.
There it is. There it is. So,
Think about that.
so yeah, so it's an important, the message of this is that we need to, in life, we sometimes, what's that? With the person of your dreams? Who knows? Who knows? But the idea is that sometimes when we're faced with these sort of riddles, or things in life like this, think out of the box, right? That's the question implied that you could only help one person, but by thinking creatively, you could actually provide for 4 people. That makes a 400% improvement of the outcome than traditional thinking. Look for solutions that are win-win for everyone outside those normally suggested, okay? And this came up in the context of this person was presented with that riddle at a job interview, right? Because the future employer wanted to see if this person could think out of the box, think creatively, rather than sort of a stock, well, the old lady, this, that, and the other. And there were 7 interviewees, and 6 of them gave sort of a standard answer, but one of them gave this answer out of the box and stood out from the rest. So there you go, table topics. Thank you.
Okay, so go ahead and click next so that you can select your favorite table topic presenter. We had Maria, Olga, Olivia, Kaiten, and Anant. Did I get everybody? I think so. Okay, so just choose the one you like the best. I gotta say that I grew up in Mexico City, and if you've seen how many people you can fit in one of those being, I mean, like 10 people, and you cannot imagine we make it work. So I really loved what Olga had to say on that one. Okay,
I was gonna say, did you have experience in this?
absolutely. I've read outside, on top, inside, on the sides. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, good. Get your robot car first. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, right. All right, guys. So let's move on to speech evaluations. I'm gonna invite Chris to come up and evaluate Keaton's speech.
All right, thank you. Where's our timer? Okay, perfect. Oh, yeah, that's okay. All right, well, Katen, thank you for your speech and the candor, and it was very thought-provoking. So I'm gonna break it up in the things that I really liked. I think you shined in those areas, some areas that I think you could tighten up, and then the third will be what you can do to elevate this speech in the future if you want to do it again, or a variation of it. So the first would be you started with a very thought-provoking question, right? And especially the title. What is the meaning of life? And what is the intention of it? Great hands. You were very expressive. You were really using your space very nice. You were kind of standing back over here, coming in, coming out. I also noticed you were making eye contact to a lot of us, to a lot of the audience members and the listeners. You drew us in with that. It was genuine. You had a nice smile and a presence. That's part of the message and us receiving that message. No notes. It's a lot of content, a lot of really interesting ideas to share with us, to have us think about. Many of them were questions, right? And you were leading us along with your string of questions. I wrote down aspirationally inspirational. I think there was a lot of words in there that were like very aspirational, and you were seeking and striving to be inspirational. It was right there. I think you could develop that idea even more. It's one of the oldest questions humans know, right? What is the meaning of life? I think that everyone was interested in the title also. I prompted your title and the idea, everyone said, oh, what is this going to be about? So what could we do differently? A bit tight at first, a little bit. Then you relaxed. I could tell you were enjoying the experience about 20 to 30 seconds in. Perhaps you gave a lot of examples, but maybe the examples went on beyond being useful, but still very good examples. Then you even joked to yourself that let's get back to the meaning of life. And we all chuckled with you because we were following along with your train of thought. I think I've heard this before from Christine and different people that my speeches can be front loaded, and then I tend to rush the mid and the end part. So I think there was a lot of front loading with the examples. So think about the structure. A couple you knows were in there, filler you knows. And then we started to talk about AI. AI seemed like to me, as a listener, as a side topic. And even though some of us love AI and embrace it, some of us despise AI. It is still quite controversial in society. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it going to enhance the meaning of our lives? So as I wrap it up, what could you do to enhance the speech in the future? I would say get up here and pause and breathe and have a moment where you kind of make eye contact, and then you launch into your speech with comfort and confidence. And I would say simplify and focus on the core message. Stay focused on that and end with that as well. Okay. But great job tonight.
Thank you, Chris. So Alicia, giving an evaluation of a speech that you haven't heard before like that, it's really hard. It's like one of my most dreaded roles, but I love how you came up with all kinds of critiques and positive inputs to give Keaton, and just structured it so well. And you deliver it like a speech. It's just lovely. Thank you, Chris. All right, so next I'm going to invite Anant to come up and give the evaluation of Christina's speech.
So it was a great topic, Christina, and generally when you give a speech for any speaker, the foremost thing is to have the engagement till the end. And one of the way, there are multiple ways to get that engagement, and the way you started out with putting up a question to people like $100 bill, if you lose versus you gain it, how do you feel? So that's right, from the beginning everybody got engaged. When you ask somebody a question and this $100 bill is like, people started thinking about it, losing versus gaining, and then you have the right engagement. Right. And then you introduce the prospect theory. So I would say if you wouldn't have gone that way, so that's a plus point to you. Then it's difficult. People think, whenever they think about any theory, any algorithm, people think it's a theoretical, boring mathematics. And but you did not came out that way, because you engaged people and then you gave the prospect theory. So immediately it registered with everyone what is prospect theory, and then it started people having that longing. Okay, what else? So I'm in now. I understand what is prospect theory, and how does it help us, or how does it trick our mind? Then you talked about that we most of the people, we take gain and loss equally, but that's not the case. And then you very beautifully you illustrated with that, that graph and the whiteboard. I think this is my first time here. Maybe Tom might have seen these example before, besides somebody in the speech used the whiteboard. So that's really really great. And I think without this, it wouldn't be possible for the people to understand what you are talking, right? How relatively from 0 to 2000 and 2000 to 3000. So what is your frame of reference? And then you gave your personal anecdote that being a student, when you first earned $2000, it was way more than when from 2000 to 3000 or 3000 to further on, right? So the frame of reference, so everybody could connect with their beginning. Okay, when I didn't have money, how it mattered to me. So those really great engagement over there again. And then you said people judge outcome not in absolute term, but comparative term. So it's really hit home, and people need to introspect and all those kind of things. And then loss aversion, you talked about that risk gain versus people averse the loss versus they gain the risk. And then I thought about that somebody told about quit early, then how important it is to quit early. And finally, you gave us some thought process solution, right? Being aware when to afraid of losing versus picking up the right path. So we need to be aware, and how do we escape this prospect theory? So it's all in all excellent content, very rich content, and you deliver it really really well. I could follow you from the first word till the end. I don't have any comment or anything to, I think this is maybe other people can tell about it. I could able to follow you up, but maybe if the audience, you have to read the room. If the people have difficulty in following, because you have that ability to speak really really fast and very clear, so then you can slow down for the people. But I think for today, I was able to follow you from beginning till the end. I didn't feel the need of you getting slowed down. So thank you. It was a really great and candor speech. Thank you.
Talk about candor, the way you introduce vulnerability into a speech about a technical topic. This is great.
We should use the whiteboard more.
I'm sorry?
We should use the whiteboard more.
I actually saw a guest do it one time. I don't know if you guys remember. Do you remember that?
AI, right?
Yeah, she went up there and used the board, and I was like, whoa, amazing. So cool. All right. Okay, so we're done with our prepared speech. We're gonna move on to our functionary reports. So let me invite our newest member, Isaac, to come. Hey, Davey, we haven't forgotten you. Come up, Isaac, and tell us how we did with our.
All right. What I've learned from being the time goes so slow. Man, I was just 5 minutes feels like 10 minutes. It's crazy. So for the table topics, Maria had 1 minute and 22 seconds, and Olga at 27 seconds. Olivia at 1 minute and 9 seconds. Kaiten at 28 seconds. Anat at 1 minute and 24 seconds for the table topic. Prepared speeches, Kaiten, you were in your time at 5 minutes and 23 seconds, and Christina, you were within time at 5 minutes and 47 seconds. And then for evaluations, Chris, you were overtime, 3 minutes and 35 seconds, and then Anat, you were over at 4 minutes and 5 seconds. So great. So
You got your first role. Did you know you were gonna take this role today or?
yes.
Wonderful. All right. Okay, so Maria, would you come up and tell us how we did with our filler words today?
To be Hunter, it was pretty clean today. For speeches, Ketan, good, 1 hour, but part is very repetitive to the end, especially. Christina, very clean, super duper speech today. Please, so a couple of times, so. Anand, clean evaluation. What else? Natalie, 5+. That's it for today.
Okay, Ray, will you come up and tell us about grammar? Where did we go?
I just have to say, I love coming here and surrounding myself with all these smart people. I leave here feeling smarter. So thank you. Word of the day. It's B, right? Is that how we pronounce it? Yeah. So we had 4 of us use the word of the day. It was B, myself, Chris, who used it twice, and Anat. So great job, guys. Oh, and Maria, please. Sorry. So I was the grammarian tonight. First time grammarian. I have 3 pages of notes here. Let's see, Ketan, what is life all about? You had several great statements tonight, seeking for the divine. I really liked that. Am I spending my time in the right direction? Thought that was great. AI is not going to replace our human thinking. I think that was good too. You don't hear that every day. And this is something we hear, I think, kind of in cliche terms, and we've all heard it 1,000 times probably, but I think it's worth reiterating because it's so important. But be grateful for what you have today. I think we can all hear that. And explore with curiosity, not with fear. Thought that was great. And just one challenge, one correction is the only thing I caught. I think you said most luckiest time. I would have just gotten rid of most and just said luckiest time. But otherwise, fantastic. Christina, awesome speech. I sat there for the first 3 minutes not writing anything because I was just so immersed in what you were saying. But I caught a few. So I liked how you said we compare to our expectations. I think that was great. Losing feels worse than winning feels good. And it was framed that way. I thought that was good because we frame things in certain ways, and our framing plays such a big role, our perception as to how we experience things. And you said can you read my own writing here? I was staying because I was afraid to lose what I had. That's a good reminder for all of us. And is it truly the right path for you? Again, just great statements there. Tom, it's probably the best table topics I've ever heard. That was great. Just wanted to mention that. And then Anat, you said the reward for your work is more work. No, that was great. It's something my father would say to me. So perfect. And Chris, with your evaluation, elevate your speech in the future or enhance your speech in the future. That was good. That was powerful. And you closed with pause and breathe and launch into your speech with calm and confidence. So that's really great for all of us to remember. So thank you. Great meeting tonight.
Three pages of notes for the first time. That's great. You got that down. Okay, so given this is my first time as a Toastmaster, I want to thank you all for your patience.
One more roll.
One more role. Oh, general evaluator. Oh, Arzu. Sorry, guys. General evaluator. Arzu, please come up and tell us how we did today.
Okay, I wrote a few things, but I was honestly really immersed into today's conversation. I feel like I'm learning new things each time I come. So as you had said, when you surround yourself with smart people, you just feel smarter. That was the exact thing I was thinking today. I really appreciated how Tom came up, even though we're still waiting on some people. In the very beginning, he came up and he attempted to do some jokes. And took I'm obviously joking. That was a good, we needed that. And it started off the meeting really nicely. He got all of us to laugh, which was nice. I appreciated how, Natalie, you brought back asking everyone to come up and say a positive story or something that has impact. I think that was something we used to do and I loved it. So I'm glad that you brought that back today. Eitan, your speech reminded me of a session I had today with my team. And I really like how you kind of took it a step further, talking about not just being positive in the day-to-day, but just kind of figuring out what makes you happy in life outside of just getting property and getting a better job and all those things that we kind of focus on, so I really appreciate that. Christina, I love that you use the whiteboard. I feel like we've all kind of said that a few times today, but just the fact that you not only brought in the math aspect of it and the psychology aspect of it, but you gave real life examples. Everyone's already said that. I appreciated that. That was different. And I appreciate that we engaged the newer guests as well. And we had them come up. So I'm glad we did that. One thing that I think we could have improved is bringing Daisy on board with today's session. I think we kind of forgot that she was here, and I apologize that we didn't kind of engage with you a little bit more. I think we should do that. And then also I like when we had the background music in the very beginning to kind of, it was a little quiet at first and it was like not awkward, but it was a little bit of silence. So I thought if we had some background music, that'd be nice. Other than that, we did really good with the timing of things. We only had 2 speeches today. And Tom did a great job keeping the table topics at the right time without it going over time. So I appreciate that. That is all I have. Thank you.
Well, I'm taking that feedback to heart. So Daisy, could you say hi to everyone and just tell us how your week went last week? Take 30 seconds and just let us know how you're doing. We want to hear your voice, especially for our guests.
Oh, geez. No. So actually, I'm gonna tell you guys about my weekend. My weekend went really well. It was my husband's birthday. So we went to the movies and we watched a movie that I've been wanting to watch, which is the anime Demon Slayer. It's a really good movie. If you like anime, you should watch it. It's long, but it's worth it.
Thank
And then
you,
I went to the
Daisy.
pumpkin
It's good to
patch.
hear your voice.
You did a great job.
Well, we got through it. So thank you, everyone. So I would like to invite our Madam President to come up and close the meeting for us.
Thank you, Bea. You did a wonderful job being a first-time Toastmaster. Yeah, definitely. And I want to also say great job for other first-timer roles, Ray and Isaac. Awesome job. Definitely. Keep pushing yourselves. This is how we learn, and luckily we have this safe and welcoming environment. And great to see guests tonight. We're always happy to see new faces, and hopefully we will be coming some more. And Tom, such a great table topic. That was awesome. I really like that. So with that, of course, the speeches, that was really interesting and inspiring. And in my search for my next topic of a speech. So I got some ideas here. Maybe I will actually use the whiteboard. Awesome. So great job, everyone. With that, let's close this meeting. Thank you.
Great. How did you learn about, was it at school?